to New York, Joe Judge, they thoroughly got after us today. Unbelievably disappointed in our coaching staff and myself, our players, the entire Carolina Panthers. I thought the defense hung tough for a while, but in the end, some really well thought out but simple things that they did beat us. And offensively, other than that first drive, that was not a very good day in any shape or form. Obviously, I pulled Sam in the game. Just felt like we needed some sort of a spark. Not that anything was necessarily him. I think it's all of them. Hoping PJ would go out there and make a run or do something to kind of get us going. Sam will be our quarterback next week. He'll be our quarterback moving forward. But in a game like that, I called a fake punt at the minus 15 or 20 yard line the first half, trying to get us going. It got we checked out of it. Champ checked out of it, but this is obviously not anywhere good enough. And I'll answer anything you guys ask today. But at the end of the day, I don't know if we realize the position we're in. You could tell New York certainly recognized after last week the position they were in, that their backs were against the wall, and they had a sense of urgency that we did not have. And so, we'll find that this week. We'll have to find that this week moving forward because we get ready to play Atlanta. We can't continue to go out and we were not the tougher team today, and that's a credit to the Giants coming off what happened to them last week. They showed up to play today at a high level, and we were not good enough.
Saw Dave Tepper go into the locker room afterwards. Did he have any sort of message to the team or saying?
Dave comes in after pretty much every game. Yeah, he's always there just to support.
Matt, was benching Sam at all a realization that he's not the answer long term here?
Nope, I wouldn't say that. Obviously, it wasn't what we wanted. I think I'm on record. I think quarterbacks go through ups and downs and highs and lows. You look at Daniel Jones tonight. He went through the same kind of game probably last week. As from what I looked at, I'm not in their organization. I don't mean to speak for them, but he came out tonight and played great. So Sam's got to take care of the football, and Sam has got to throw on time, and it's not there. Find the checkdowns. We can't be driving with a chance to go, take the lead and throw interceptions. And so that his sense of urgency this week, I expect to be heightened. He has to have the same. I tried to put that sense of urgency on our coaches. Obviously didn't show up. We'll continue to do it this week. We have to coach better, but our players have to play better as well, and that starts with the quarterback.
Where do you feel like the coaching staff has come up short most?
The final score, especially offensively. I thought defensively they had a good plan. They hung in there. I think in the end we got worn down. Those are all excuses. The defense, they got to step up. Each man on our defense has to step up, make some plays. We're in position to make plays. I just don't see us making enough plays. But offensively, obviously, we didn't protect the quarterback. We wanted to run the football more. We started out running it, didn't run it enough, didn't run it well enough, couldn't convert. It's like the second game on the tail that is 2 of 15 on third down. It's just completely unacceptable. So we have to coach way, way better. There's no doubt. And but we also have to play better. And I think this is one of those deals where it's everyone that walks in that building this week is, starting with me, has got to have a sense of urgency that you'd like to think we should have had the last couple weeks. And it feels like it during the week, but it doesn't see them showing up on Sundays. And so, at some point it's got to change.
Matt, what's been the biggest difference between Sam the first 3 weeks of the season and the last?
Yeah, throwing on time, taking the open receiver, being patient, protecting the football, not throwing off his back foot. I think some of the things that we're seeing right now, I think there had some times on third downs where guys were open, we're predetermining, we're thinking, and again, I understand young quarterbacks go through that. So we're obviously not coaching Sam well enough, So this isn't about Sam, we needed more from the run game. We needed some explosive plays. We needed some guys to make some big catches. But at the end of the day, as a coach, you're standing on the sideline. Sometimes you're just trying to create something to get the team going. So, tried to do that, and, it didn't work out, obviously.
Chuba had 28 yards. I think most of that came on that first drive. What changed after that first drive? Was it the offensive line or just his patience or anything?
No, I think the second drive, I can't remember exactly. We went 3 and out. Then the third drive, we obviously were down to safety. Then the fourth drive went 3 and out. Then we got going on the next drive and had a longer drive and then just didn't convert third down. So to me, tail of the tape is really, just third downs. And, you have to stay on if you want to run the football, you have to stay on the field. So we made an emphasis on running the football this week. Didn't show up.
Matt, a couple of those third down, though, were 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, and y'all threw the ball. didn't go well? Do you think Joe got away from the running game?
Some of those were like the one 3rd and 2 was like an RP. It took a sack. It was an RPO. It was a handoff to a bubble. You know what I mean? Like, so like we came into this knowing like, hey, we're gonna have to have some run game RPO tags. So a couple of those runs called that just didn't obviously didn't work out. So just
They were checks or they
no,
were
they're just a
reads?
RPO. Like the guy's going in motion and the left tackle stepped in, the defensive end knocked him back. He hits the tight end coming back on the RPO. So some of these things were things we game planned, and I was fine with those going in terms of, hey, we're gonna run the football here and RPO here. And at the end of the day, you're thinking on one of those, you're gonna hand it off or you're gonna throw a ball in the flat and it's gonna be 4th and 1. We're gonna go for it. I went for 4th and 1 on the first drive of the game from the 30. Like I was determined that we were gonna be a 4-down team. Like I came here today, at the end of the day, I came here today saying, hey, whatever it takes to win, we're going to try to find a way to win, and we did not. But, went for it on 4th down. We even at the end, we went for it on 4th down and let the score get away from us a little bit. But, yeah, we have to execute those plays. I think 3rd down is, if you go back and look at us historically, when we don't play well on 3rd down, we're just not very good.
Matt, you went into it right in your opening statement, but can you go a little more into your decision as to when to insert PJ? You had many opportunities, I guess, there. When did you pull the trigger?
Yeah, I came out, after halftime, like, all right, man, this just feels flat. This does not feel the way it's supposed to feel, especially offensively. I think even the defense was kind of, they were kind of hanging on. I think they held them to a field goal in the first half, but we didn't have I just didn't feel it. So just said, okay, let's go play. And we went down the first drive, and a couple things happened. I can't remember what happened, the amount of plays in the first drive, but the coaches didn't feel like anything was. Sam was playing fine. The next drive, I think it was 3rd and 2. And, the ball, we didn't hit Colin. Colin, does he drift? I don't know. But I was just sort of like, hey, I could feel like it was at the tipping point, right? We were now or never. And I think I waited one more drive and then went ahead and did it. The last thing I wanted to do was embarrass somebody. And because I know that this is going to be the story this week. But, I really believe sometimes this is, you go back to the olden days before all the pressure, quarterbacks would sometimes sit for a little bit and have to come back. So, Sam will define who he is. Like this is up to him. But just sort of wanted to get something going because I could feel it kind of, the field position, to credit to Joe, like we played on their side of the 50 the whole game. On our side of the 50 the whole game, and our punting game obviously wasn't very good. So, our coverage was really good. I was proud of our coverage.
I'm sorry, but you said right then, Sam will definitely be your quarterback.
Yeah, Sam will be the quarterback. I just wanted to get something going today. I just felt like this is it. So, PJ is always ready, but Sam, as long as Sam does the right things, he comes back, and obviously he's going to be really disappointed. But if you're a competitor, you show up this week, and I know he's a competitor. He'll show up this week.
What is it about Sam that you think gives you all the best chance to win, even with this?
We're not winning right now, so it's going to take all of us. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, I think I said it a couple times. Like when we play really well in every other area, you know what I mean? Like when we're catching every ball, when we're stepping through tackles at the running game, when we're running the football well, when we're pass protecting at a high level. Then I'll look at one guy, but I think he just needs a lot of help from a lot of guys right now that he's not getting. But I see the good moments too. I see all the really good things, and so we're going to keep coaching them.
Matt, you were pretty adamant this week that you're not in the quarterback trade market, so this doesn't change that either.
Yeah, no, I obviously I want Sam to play better, but he's the guy we're focused on.
Would it change for you for how you all approach the deadline then?
I can't look to the future, but I don't believe it will. Everyone's disappointed right now. There's emotions flying around, all those things. But at the end of the day, you saw the game, Joe. It wasn't very good in any regard. So to me, it all goes back to like the sense. Think about the way we played defense and then what it looked like today. We have to get ourselves going and moving in the right direction. And this is like same thing happened last year, happened the year before. We got to get it fixed. That's to me. It's like I want our guys like losing like this has to infuriate and upset us. And like if you want to see what it looks like, look what Philadelphia did when we played them. Look what these guys did today. Like these guys came out with a sense of urgency. And so, sometimes you guys ask me like, hey, so said something after the game. Like, what's it going to look like on Wednesday? What's it going to look like on Thursday? Like, we got to get this thing moving. And I don't know that we've had that urgency that we need. And so it'll happen now.
Could you all make another move at punter?
I'm sorry.
Could you all make another move at
Potentially, yeah. Potentially. We got anywhere, we'll see. I mean, I have to go back and look at the tape, and they had 10 up one time. They had no returner deep. I mean, they did some good things, but you know, at this point, Jonathan, I don't want to sit there and say right now anything's on the table, anything's off the table at anything, because we have to go back. I never am very good at emotional decisions, right? Like, we go back, we go through the process, and then after a game like this, you kind of just want to go back into the locker room and come out next week with all the same guys and see how they respond. You know what I mean? Like, bad stuff happens. What do we look like next week? We better look different next week, or the conversation changes. And I think that's fair. I think the guys would say that's fair. I would say that's fair. So this happened. This was not anything that we wanted, and I don't want to take any credit away from them. It was a great job by them. So let's see who responds. Let's find out who's got that edge. You know what I mean? I want to be. I've always said I want us to be a serious football place. Part of that's having a real edge about ourselves, and everything can't be like happy-go-lucky. We need to become a really tough franchise, a tough building, and I have not got that done. I mean, when things like this happen, man, it goes right on my shoulder. I have not gotten that done. So if we don't become a tough team soon, then we're gonna have to make some serious changes, and that's not panic. I'll make sure I say that, because I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the process we're doing. But I did not feel the urgency and the toughness and the edge that we needed. And but I saw it from Leonard Williams, and I saw it from some of them. And that's not we had some of our players had it, I'm sure. When I look at the tape on, I'll see some guys play really hard, play really well, but just overall, unacceptable for all of us. And I don't want to call any one guy out, because I think you guys would all say it kind of looked like the whole team today. So we got to get better.
How much of those offensive issues?
This is the last one.
How much of those offensive issues come down to just the fundamentals, or techniques, or even like the play calling? How much of that goes into all those issues?
Yeah, I mean, I think it always comes down to those things. You always sit there and say, what about this, what about that? And then you turn the tape on, and it's a bad block here, it's a drop here, it's a poor route here, it's a missed read here. Sometimes it's a bad, play call here. I really there wasn't a play today that they said that I was like, oh, why are we doing that? That being said, we've just got to play better. Thanks, guys.
Run out again, kind of see how they respond the next week. Is that how you feel? Like he wants to see how everybody will respond after a performance like this. How do you think the guys would respond next week?
I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, right? We have to respond. This is not, what we expected or wanted or anything, but, we're 7 games in, and we have to respond. It's not a matter of think or hope or anything. No, we have to respond. We will respond.
What did it feel like out there today? What do you think went wrong?
I mean, we gotta score points offensively. A lot of opportunities left, but we just didn't execute, didn't capitalize on the opportunities that were given to us.
This team started off so hot, and then to have this losing streak. As a vet, what changes have you seen during this period? And the mood in the locker room. Rhule said that he didn't see a sense of urgency among the team and then the whole organization. Can you speak to those two things?
I mean, what did I say? We're 7 games in. This is not where we wanted to be or expected to be, but at this point, our record is our record. And we have to respond. We got Atlanta next week, and we have to respond and have that sense of urgency. Yeah.
What do you feel like was the most disappointing thing about this loss?
It's a difficult question. I mean, that's a very difficult question to pick something out. I mean, we have to be able to score offensively to give ourselves a chance.
Matt, Coach Rhule said a second ago that Sam would remain the starting quarterback. Do you guys still have confidence in him as the starter?
100%.
Why?
We trust Sam. I trust him. He's a great quarterback. He's a great man, and I trust him.
I know you have to look at the tape, but you said that you guys have to score more points. What did the Giants do that you were unable to get points on the board?
Yeah. We weren't finishing drives. I mean, there's a lot going on in the game. It's hard to remember every series or whatever, but you know, even when we were moving the ball, whether it's penalties, whether it's, you know, whatever happens that kind of knocks us back or whatever and doesn't allow us to finish drives, you know, we got to continue to move the ball down the field and get in scoring opportunities, get within that in the red zone, and then finish drives.
Drew had most of his yardage on that first series. What changed after that?
As far as
Just the success in the running game.
we'll have to check the tape to really answer that.
Matt, does this feel different than some of the streaks you guys went through last year when the offense didn't seem in gear? I mean, does it feel different in a particular way to you?
I mean, honestly, I'm very difficult to compare to last season. It's kind of my operation is I'm on this year, and that's not I just don't really get in a comparison game because we're two different teams, and whatever the comparison may be, you know, we did not perform like we needed to perform.
A few more. We all good? All right, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
PJ, what did Rhule say to you when you were coming into the game? Tell us about that process that you coming in.
He just felt like I could give him the offense a little spark, you know, coming off the bench and things like that. And he didn't really say much to me, you know, it just gave me the chance to go out there and try to move the ball and get things going on offense. Took me a second to get into a rhythm, but, you know, I feel like once I got into it, I could have done a little better, but I thought I did all right. Not just should have just taken more completions in the first place anyway, but just trying to make plays and get back into the game and do a lot for the team as much as I can.
Was it actually Coach Rhule that told you, or was it?
No, it was my quarterback coach, Sean. He told me, yeah.
Can you just did you have any interaction with Sam before or after that?
Yeah, we talked after, and you know, it was normal. You know, it was a normal conversation with things. Like I said, Coach Rhule just felt like I could have gave the team a spark. Sam's still a starter, so no matter what, you know, we're going to continue to work and continue to build as a team and continue to grow.
You noticed a change in Sam over the last month or so as you guys have been losing and he's been turning the ball over?
It's noticeable, but we just got to go out there. We just got to go out there and continue to play. You know, we can't just sit there and dwell on mistakes and, you know, just keep sitting there overthinking things. You know, we just got to go out there and play football. At the end of the day, this is a game that we've been playing our whole lives, and we just got to go out here and keep playing.
Why do you believe you all have struggled in the past 4 weeks?
Honestly, we just got to find a rhythm. You know, I think that's really what it is. We got to be able to run the ball, do different things, play action-wise, and, you know, we just got to go find ways to get things going offensively. And when we get big plays, we got to continue to not let penalties beat us as well and things like that. When we backed up, you know, it's hard to play football backed up. And first and 15, first and 20 is hard, you know. So we just got to go out there and try to stay ahead of the chains. When we're ahead of the chains, we're a really good offense.
So you think you all are making too many mistakes?
Yes. We all good?
Thanks.
We can start with questions.
Sam, the first 3 weeks of the season, we could see the improvement in your footwork that you're working on in the off season. You're going through your progressions, you're extending drives with your legs. What has been different in these last 4 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's just we're unable to find a rhythm out there, and we just gotta go back, look at the tape. I know it sounds redundant. I say it after every single game, after the last 4 games, but we got to figure out a way to get a rhythm back.
Sam, Matt said the last thing you wanted to do was embarrass somebody. Were you embarrassed today?
No, I think, when you get to that point of getting pulled, I just internalize it, and, honestly, it's one of those situations where, it is what it is. And he thought at the time that, that would provide a spark putting PJ in there. So, it was his decision, and he went with it.
What did you take away from it?
What's that?
What did you take away from the decision?
I mean, I think that's kind of up to him. Whatever he thinks, was the best decision. Ultimately, it's his decision. It's up to him. So, I want to go out there. I want to play for my teammates and be out there as much as I can.
Sam, did it sting a little bit for that to happen back in this stadium in particular?
No, I mean it's hard. No matter where you are, I think like I just said, as a competitor, you want to go out there and give it 100% for your teammates and for the guys next to you, and it was. That's pretty much my thoughts.
Sam, Matt came in here and said you were the quarterback moving forward. Did he have that conversation with you?
Mm-mm.
Sam, do you think you deserve to hang on to the job?
Yeah, again, ultimately, it's not my decision to make that. So.
It's been a rough few weeks. Would you say that you're in a slump?
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. I think it's just offensively speaking, we're unable to find a rhythm. Like I said before, it's, we had a couple good drives. I think the first drive we had was a good drive. We just didn't convert that last third down, and we kicked a field goal, got 3 points, and then we went down there, and then I had that turnover and that pick. And I think, I just got to continue to do a better job of protecting the football, because when we get down there, it's points that we can't, afford to give up.
What happened there on that play?
What's that?
What happened there on that play?
I'm just trying to force the ball when it wasn't there.
Personally, how do you pick yourself up after a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going back to work. I think that's the biggest thing is going in tomorrow and understanding, the task at hand, beating the Atlanta Falcons, and go from there.
Sam, you've talked about your confidence and how it's so important to you. Does this shake your confidence in yourself at all, and how do you not let it?
No, not at all. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to play football and give it all I got for my teammates.
Sam, did it feel any different coming back here pre-game, before the game, on the sideline, promotions, see anybody familiar? Like, what was the experience like coming back here?
No, I mean, we ended up walking past the Jets locker room to start. But other than that, it was just coming out here on the road, to face a good Giants team, and obviously didn't get the job done.
How much of this, the offensive issues have come down to fundamentals and just details, or versus just defenses making good plays?
Yeah, I think, obviously we credit the defense. They came out here and played a heck of a game, but yeah, it's us not executing. So we got to figure out the details and understand that, everyone's got to be on the same page every single play, and if we're not, then we're going to get out of rhythm, and we're not going to have the drives that we want.
Sam, what did you think of why was Leonard Williams such a problem for you guys? You played with him before. Did you sense something from him, a focus or anything from him today?
I mean, Leo's a good player. He always has been. So, I knew personally that he was going to come out and ready to go like he always does.
Now, one play that Matt Rhule mentioned in terms of why he sat you down for a while was the throw to Colin Thompson on 3rd and 2. You were a little behind him. Remember that one? What did you see there that didn't work?
Yeah, I think
Robbie, what did you think went wrong today?
I don't think we executed to the level that that we worked to throughout the week and that we hope to.
Why do you think you all aren't executing like you want to?
I can't. This week alone, I had to look at the film and see like what it really was. But
just don't think that we got that rhythm that we're looking for offensively, speaking on our side of the ball.
What do you think could change that?
You know, just capitalizing on opportunities and, you know, first down, second down, playing basic football and getting the rhythm going.
Sorry, what was your reaction when you saw that quarterback change?
You know, that's something as a receiver you can't put too much thought into it, you know, because you just got to adjust and stay focused on what's at hand.
You've known Sam a while. What do you think that'll do to his confidence and his just overall psyche?
I think that, you know, I think Coach explained it, his decision to the team, but I think, you know, it's going to make him go harder.
You hold yourself to a high standard. Would you say that you're playing up to your standard right now?
I mean, I don't think collectively everybody's really not right now. We're all not winning. And, you know, we all feel like we can do more. I feel like I could do more. I think everybody collectively feels like that. You know, we lost the last 4 games.
What do you need to do more? Because, you know, Rhule says y'all practice well during the week, but he did mention that he feels like the team as a whole needs to have a better sense of urgency.
I think that that's the answer right there.
Have you noticed a lack of urgency?
You know, I don't try and, you know, in the midst of the game, I don't try and, you know, evaluate and look at those type of things. I try and just stay focused on what I need to do in a sense. So those type of things you kind of evaluate watching film, and that's not really like my place for real.
What about over just the past month, though, Rob, with just the general sense around the building, the feeling?
We need to win. You know, we're not happy right now.
Is there any one area of the offense that just continues to have the same issues over and over?
No, I mean, this game we didn't score a touchdown. We didn't do what we came here to do.
What do you see as the difference between that 3-game win streak where everything seemed to be going well, and then now this 4-game win streak?
I think then, you know, offensively we had more of a rhythm, and things were hitting how we wanted them to. Right now, things has not really been consistent to the level that we hope to, that we work to.
We all good? Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
What do you feel like was the most disappointing thing about the way you guys lost today?
What do I think is the most disappointing
Yeah, what
thing?
was most disappointing for you? What were you disappointed in?
Losing. There's no specific part of the game that I was most disappointed. I was just losing in general.
Brian, when the offense is struggling the way it is, how much pressure do you guys feel as a defense to keep the team in it, make big plays?
We try not to buy into like having that be like a big pressure on us and nothing like that. We just try to do our job, and give them spark plays when we can. You know what I mean? But that all results in us doing our job. Period. But we just want to help them out because at the end of the day, it's complimentary football. You know what I'm saying? So.
Matt talked about the idea that he almost doesn't want to make any changes after a game like that. He wants to bring everybody back and just see how they respond. what do you think he means by that? And he talked about he wants to see guys playing with an edge and responding to a game like this. What do you think he means by that?
What, playing with an edge?
Playing with an edge and responding after a performance like this. Like he wants to see how everybody responds.
I mean, he just really means attacking the week. You know what I mean? Like really like buying into our preparation, like practicing good, having a successful week. That's what he means by bouncing back and, like, you feel me, like just attacking that week and being on to the next one. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much what he means by it.
During the week, though, Rhule says that you guys are having good practices. I mean, ahead of the Eagles game, he said y'all had the best practice that you guys have had since he's been here. But it doesn't seem to be translating on the field on Sundays. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I really can't speak on that. I feel like we let too many plays get away from us. Just from like a technique standpoint, just like a person doing their job, making the play when it's their turn to make the play. And I feel like we just let the game get away from us. And then, like, at that point in time, they can really pretty much do what they want when they have a lead like that, you know, going into that late fourth quarter. So just can't let the game get away. So,
Brian, what's the reaction like among the defense when they change quarterbacks?
a reaction?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always gonna have my teammates back. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna have Sam's back, and I trust whoever's in the game at quarterback for us. But ultimately, that's the coach's call. That's the offensive side of the ball. Like, I ain't got much say in that or much to do with that. But I'm whoever's in there, I got their back, and I'm root for them regardless.
Do you still have confidence in Sam moving forward?
100%.
Why is that?
Because he's my teammate, and I believe in him. So I starting quarterback.
Did you think the defense sort of wore down in the second half, Brian?
No, like I said, go back to making the play when it's your turn, and from a technique standpoint, we let too many plays go. Like, guys maybe trying to do too much or not doing enough, and they let it happen. So, but that's what I mean, like, going into the half, like, it was still a tight game. Going to the third, it was pretty much still a tight game. We can't let the game get away from us. That's my main thing. Can't let it get away from us.
The getting away part, is that, I'm assuming you're speaking defensively as far as them?
Yeah, I can only speak about the defense. So I'm just talking strictly defense. We can't let the game get away from us. Like, we have to keep holding the field goals, keep trying to take the ball away. We got to help out. You feel me? We got to help out. It's complementary football. We can put our offense in great position to score. We just got to do our job, to be honest.
At one point this season, the Panthers had the #1 defense in the league, and now it's slipped. And I know the guys took great pride in that at the time.
Yeah.
How does it feel, this slippage that you guys have had, and what do you need to do to get it back?
Honestly, all these loss, every loss that we done had is just fueling me. It's motivation to me. I'm just gonna take it in the positive light. And I assume that my guys are gonna do the same thing, but we need to fix it right now before it gets scary.
A few more.
When would you consider it to be scary?
It's scary now, to be honest. And whatever it is, we need to fix this now and bounce back like no other, because you don't want to have another season like some seasons I've been a part of.
And that's the thing. You guys have a very young team. Outside of a few players like yourself, the young guys they don't have that bad taste of those 5, 6, 7 game losing stretches, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel right now sitting at the 4th straight loss?
Bad. It's embarrassing. No disrespect to the Giants and their organization and like that, but it's just embarrassing to lose like four in a row. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, that's just what it is. But like I said, we need to bounce back like no other. That's just what it is.
We all good? All right, thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, y'all.